Okay, well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for attending. This will be recorded and put back on our website. If you have any questions that you want to refer back to, or if you just want to listen to it again, it takes usually up to a week to get it reapproved and back on the website. So thanks for joining me. About 30 minutes, we're going to talk about savvy cybersecurity. We're going to hit on a couple of the main items. There are more, and they are, you'll see them in the quick reference guide. A couple other things that you want to check under that checklist section on the right. We won't do that tonight, but if you're able to do all those things, you'll certainly be in a lot better place than you were before on your cybersecurity. And my name is Chris Holcomb. I think I've met most of you all. Certified financial planner here at Heritage Financial Advisors, and our office is in Columbia, as you can see. So we're going to talk about 5 threats today, but feel free to ask us about some other questions. We have well, not obviously, we have to take cybersecurity training a couple times a year from different sources, so we know some of this. I don't know, there might be some folks that are in the cybersecurity business, which probably would take it to a much deeper level. But I think this will get you on a good track for today. And one final note, Carrie will be calling you to get your feedback, and calling and emailing. So please give her your information as far as what you thought about the webinar, what questions you might have, how I can help you going forward. And those that respond with emails or actually a conversation, we will enter you into a drawing for the Hack Proof Your Life book, which is on page 2 of that reference guide. So please give us that feedback. It's really helpful as we do these webinars and just to try to make sure we do the best we can. So with that said, I'm going to go on to the first slide. So it takes about 2 seconds to have your ID stolen, which is to some folks a little maybe revelational that it's that quick, but yeah, these guys are really good, and so it's up to us to work really hard to protect our information. So just a couple highlights. Are you one of these 14 million that have had your personal information exposed or breached? The statistics say most likely in the past few years have given us record-breaking breaches. You can only see a few of the big ones listed here. The Marriott chain, for example, exposed data on 500 million guests in a recent breach. The credit reporting agency Equifax suffered a massive breach that affected 143 million Americans. Yahoo took first place with the biggest breach in history, with news that it affected every single Yahoo account. That's 3 billion users. And these are only some of the breaches that occurred in the last few years. Given those attacks, it's very likely that your personal information has landed in the hands of a hacker. In addition, new threats are exposed every day. Even as we sit here now, a vast array of cyber attacks are pounding at the walls of security networks built to protect you and your digital personal persona on the internet. What I'm going to say in the next few minutes will probably feel dramatic, but it's completely true. A world of dark forces and criminal networks conspire day and night to steal your username and password, obtain your social security number, open credit cards in your name, drain your bank account, seize your computer, and hold it for ransom. So it's like a lot of things, the higher security goes right along with more knowledge. So the authors of the book, Cybersecurity and Cyber War, contend that a cyber world war is underway, and we're all involved. Our biggest problem, they say, is that we face a cybersecurity knowledge gap. So we're hopefully going to make a dent in that today and give you some action items on your reference card. And that's what I'm here for. I'm worried about all of us, myself, my family, my clients, and the community. It's a serious growing problem, but I think we don't need to despair. Most people don't realize how vulnerable they are and what they can do to maximize their security. At the end of my presentation, I'll certainly leave you better prepared to protect yourself, your family, and business from the quietly raging cyber wars that are targeting us. So let's start. The solution is your own cybersecurity system. So we're going to talk about personal cybersecurity, protect you, again, your family. We're going to take a short quiz here next, and your current cybersecurity score. We'll find that out in a moment. Then once you know your vulnerabilities, I'll teach you some new cybersecurity rules. These are actions you can take that will boost your score. At the end of the presentation, I ask you to fill out an action page and pick 3 action items that you can take right away, sign and date the form. And this isn't something you're going to give to me. This is just only for your own benefit, because there's a lot of power in writing it down. There's a lot of power in signing your name and dating. So it's just one way to create some momentum for you to take action. Okay. So the first participation is take the cybersecurity quiz. Now, again, I would suggest if again, there's a husband and wife or 2 people, it doesn't have to be husband and wife, watching the presentation, please print out the quick reference guide and take the quiz. So it's on the first page in the scoreboard section. You'll see it there. You can certainly do it together, but I think it'd be really interesting for a couple to take that. So again, that was given as attachment for you. You're just going to answer the yes questions, and you total up your yes questions, give yourself 5 points each, total those up, and that will be determine your rating, which you can find in section B. So go ahead and do that. Take a minute or 2 to fill that out. Again, give yourself 5 points for each yes, and then total that up and then compare it to your rating in section B. Are you okay, good, or in danger? Don't be discouraged if you have a low score. That's why you're here. I hope not, to get better at this, and certainly we want to endeavor to do that. Knowing where you stand is the first part to creating a plan. So we won't be able to go over all these topics today, but feel free to ask questions at the end of our presentation about anything that we have may have not covered. So, all right. Hopefully you guys have your score and you are now feeling good, okay, or in danger. So moving on. So let's learn the rules. All right. In this presentation, I think the author or the creators did a really good job of kind of creating 3 different attacks or solutions: mindfulness, omniscience, and secrecy. So these 3 mindsets are going to cover various parts of your life that overlap and form a sweet spot of actions that will boost your security score. Each mindset alone provides greater security, but the combination of the 3 is really what makes you secure. Let's break these down. So the idea number 1, adopting a new level of secrecy can boost your security and cyber confidence. We all need more secrecy in our lives, and that's why our first key idea is adopting a new level of security. Boost your security and cyber self-confidence. The secrecy mindset entails keeping your personal and private data private. With all the massive amounts of data breaches suffered by corporations and governments, we need to act as if our personal data already exists in the hands of cyber criminals, because it likely does. And that's kind of a new thought to me. These bad guys have probably already attempted and been successful in stealing information. We all need to draw a tighter ring around the security and our personal data, and it starts with your email. So first thing, create a secret email address for your financial accounts. Our email addresses are the key to our digital lives. We share it with countless businesses, organizations, and people. If you use the internet for any amount of time, you've entered your email in a host of online accounts for shopping, traveling, exercising, gaming, dating, and more. We don't think twice. But having our email and addresses in so many databases puts you at significant risk. Hackers routinely breach these security networks of many organizations that hold your primary email address. That stolen personal data paired with poor email security leads to a disaster. So there's a couple of fun stories that are intermixed in these that I think you'll find helpful and certainly brings home the point. Robert Cecilio, CEO of IdentityTheft.com and security writer, explains, it has been said that if you own a person's email, you own the person. That means once your email has been hacked, pretty much your entire life is up for grabs. So even if you've done your due diligence to have your passwords be different, if your email is hacked and associated with your other online accounts, the hacker could simply use this to reset your password and to access all your other accounts. So here's a fun story. Take the story of a professor and software security expert, Herbert Thompson. Thompson met a friend of his that he could hack her bank account. With her permission, he began. He first simply Googled her name and stumbled upon her blog and an old resume. From the blog, he got her personal email and her college email address from the resume. Thompson started at her college email login page. Thompson was then able to use the forget my password feature on her college email account. It asked a security question that he found the answer to on her blog. Once he reset the password, he was able to reset her current email address, have the reset link sent to her college email. Then, from her personal email account, he could reset her online banking password. Now, you may not care if someone hacks into your Food Network or Yelp account, but you certainly don't want the online banking exposed the same way. That is why you need to create a separate secret email for your financial accounts. This email address should be unidentifiable. Don't use your first name, last name, initials, other identifying information. It should be protected with a strong and unique password. A separate email address reduces your digital footprint, and if your primary non-financial email address is exposed in a hack, it will not be connected to your financial accounts. This is a key step in boosting your security. Okay, so a couple ideas here, and also you'll find it in the quick reference guide. Use a passphrase. Like I want to go to bed by 11 o'clock. I want to eat less sweets, but you'd intermix it with a combination of symbols, upper and lowercase, substitute numbers for the letters, etc., but something that you can remember. So 16 digits is recommended. Again, upper and lowercase, combination of symbols and numbers in that password. Okay, enable two-step verification on your email and financial accounts. We need a special layer of security on all important documents such as email, online, social media, and more. That extra layer is a relatively new trend in online security called two-step verification, or sometimes called two-factor authentication. It should be added to any account that supports that technology. With this approach, when you start to log in to an online account, you set a short-lived one-time password. You must use that code to finish logging in. You can receive a code via text or sometimes authenticator app. This authenticator app is the most secure option as it is more difficult for hackers to compromise. Some popular apps you can be found is Google Authenticator and Microsoft Authenticator. This method stops your accounts from getting hacked because it requires two separate things. Something your password, and something you have, a temporary code. So even if the hacker has your password, he won't gain access. And you'll be alerted if someone is trying to break into your account. And if you get a code and you haven't tried to log in, you know something is up. At that point, you obviously want to change your password. And you don't have to worry about entering the code every time you log into your account from your device. On many sites, you can designate a safe device or that you log in be remembered. And then you don't have to enter. Then you usually don't have to enter the login information or verification for 30 more days. So make sure you take advantage of that as well. Key idea number 2. Completing certain actions can help you achieve financial cybersecurity omniscience and thwart fraud. We need to know what's going on in cybersecurity at all times. That's why the second idea is very helpful. So this revolves around freezing your credit score, your credit accounts for both you and your children, minor children. This is actually absolutely critical for everyone's cybersecurity. Let's see what I mean. Now here's something that most people don't quite understand about their credit files. By default, our credit files are always open. That means anyone with enough information to impersonate you may be able to open a new line of credit in your name. It happens all the time and is a major source of ID theft. And when you consider how many private and public organizations have been hacked, institutions you've trusted with your social security number, employment information, other details about your financial lives. You need to be worried about the state of your credit file at the big three agencies. We need to take back control of our credit through a credit freeze. A credit freeze locks your account, locks your credit file, and with a PIN at each of the credit bureaus. No new credit information can be issued on your name unless you lift the freeze with your special PIN. You'll have to contact each credit bureau separately. As of September 2018, credit freezes are free in every state, thanks to new federal law. Previously, it cost you $10 per action. A credit freeze puts you in control. It's it's a way more secure than credit monitoring or credit fraud, both of which will alert you after credit has been issued in your name. With a credit freeze, you can prevent identity theft from happening instead of cleaning it up after the identity theft nightmare. But it's not just your credit you need to be concerned with. Experts say that 500,000 children suffer from ID theft every year. And I experienced this directly. I was wanting to file my taxes this year. My daughter's still dependent. She's a sophomore at Maryland. And we found out we couldn't e-file because someone had already filed in her name. So that was very crystal clear to me about this. And we had actually had a freeze, we thought, in place. So that meant we had to do a three-way call with the IRS, confirm that she didn't actually file, and then now she has to use a PIN to file going forward. So they did fix it. It's just a little bit of extra work on our part that we didn't expect. Their clean records are attractive to thieves, that is, children looking to open accounts without any issues. A thief can go on unnoticed for years, as parents and guardians don't even think to check their children's record. But childhood identity theft can lead to a lifetime of fraud and ruined credit. The first step in protecting your children is ensuring that they have no credit report by contacting all three of the credit bureaus. Just a reminder, that's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Parents should send a letter including copy of their child's birth certificate, listing them as a parent, their driver's license, proof of address, with all three credit reporting agencies, and ask for a manual search of their social security number. If no report was found, you're in luck. You should still periodically check on your child's status. However, if a report is found, it is usually a sign that your child has been victimized. And ask the credit bureau to immediately place a credit freeze on your child's account and investigate further. You can now request a credit freeze for your child in every state. Previously, it was dependent on the state of your residence, but now it's a federal law. You will again have to contact all three bureaus individually. All right, key idea number 3. Achieving a sense of mindfulness when it comes to cybersecurity allows you to stay alert without becoming fatigued. So achieving a sense of mindfulness when it comes to cybersecurity allows you to stay alert. Okay, what does that mean? Well, we need to be in a state relaxed alertness when dealing with cybersecurity. Fighter pilots use an acronym for this state called OODA. It stands for observation, orientation, decision, and action. Zen masters use the phrase mindfulness. When Google completed their own analysis of worldwide cybersecurity practices, they also recommended mindfulness as a key part of cybersecurity. Mindfulness just simply relates to your day-to-day cyber practices. So let's talk about those. Okay, 10-second email rule. Examine the message and inspect the link. So one of our biggest threats today is a strain of malware, and this is especially prevalent in the holiday season. All right, in ransomware that kidnaps your computers and holds it for ransom. In this attack, hackers infect your device with malware that encrypts, sometimes locks, everything on your computer. You can no longer access all your files. In order to get your files back, you have to pay the hackers a Bitcoin ransom. One of the downsides of Bitcoin, by the way. Ransomware attacks are normally spread through a method called phishing. Phishing messages, and this is what happens at holidays a lot. Phishing messages are emails that impersonate a legitimate company or person and are designated to steal your personal information or install malware on your machine through a malicious link. Hackers are sending out billions of these messages every day. Most get caught in your spam filter, but some find their ways to your inbox. There's a 10-second cybersecurity rule that will help you fend off the phishers. The acronym email, as it stands for examine message, and inspect links. Let's look at the first half of the acronym now. So examine the message, subject line, sender, readings, grammar, signature, attachment. Let's look at the story of the White House. This is pretty interesting. The wife of John P. Holdren, assistant to former President Obama and former director of the White House Office of Science and Technology, which is kind of humorous. You would think she would maybe be more aware. Received an email which she believed to be from her husband. It asked for the password to their Xfinity phone and internet account. Ms. Holdren sent the password and went about her day. But she hadn't sent the password to her husband. Rather, she sent it to a political hacking group who, with the password, redirected all of Holdren's phone calls to a Free Palestine movement line. The Holdrens joined a long list of victims, including CIA Director John Brennan and the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper. Had Holdren's wife known the 10-second email rule I'm about to teach you, she may not have fallen victim to the scam. The first half of the acronym starts with examine the message, starts with a subject line. Phishers try to get you to react quickly and urgently. Often they'll make the subject line a frightening warning, such as warning, account closed, security fraud. Some more subtle may still require you to take action. For example, mail delivery, failed return message to sender, or incoming fax received. Subject lines like this should alert you that there might be a phishing attack. Next, we need to discover the true sender of the email. Phishers can spoof from the line to appear to be legitimate business or organization. You can determine the true identity by hovering your mouse over the display name. That's something I learned recently as well. Hover over that, and then the true sender will appear. A small box will show up right above the current email with the true email address. Other suspicious things to look for include greetings that refer to you as a customer or sir or madam instead of your name. Additionally, poor grammar, vague signature line, false contact information. You should also be suspicious of unsolicited emails with attachments. Never click an unsolicited attachment. What presents itself as a resume, receipt of a payment, could easily be an executable file, .exe, that plants a virus in your computer and seizes it for ransom. Part 2, inspect the link. Another fun story. British journalist Jane Coburn was less than an hour away from an important deadline for a documentary she was working on. Doing multiple things at once, she spotted an email from Yahoo. It told her to confirm her account details immediately or her account would be shut down. Under pressure and needing important documents in her email, Coburn clicked on the link and filled in the personal information. Immediately, her screen went blank. She had been phished. The phishers then attacked their new targets, Corbyn's email contacts. More than 1,000 people in her email address book received an email from Corbyn's account saying she was robbed at a hotel in Spain and needed money. Corbyn was locked out of her computer and forced to close her banking accounts. If Corbyn had waited 10 seconds and examined the Yahoo message more closely, she could have prevented the attack and saved herself stress, embarrassment, loss of time that comes with suffering a phishing attack. The second half of email requires you to inspect links within the message, like you did with the sender. Hover over the mouse of the link and the hyperlink. Be sure that the link is truly directing you to the correct address. If it looks fishy, delete it. You can always contact the organization directly and ask them if they sent you an email. I highly recommend that. Anything that looks suspicious, just delete it. Don't open it. Don't click on the links. Just call the organization and verify if that was them. No one is going to ask no reputable financial services company that you have a relationship with is going to call you and ask you for your personal information. They don't do that. They're not going to email you asking you for your social, for your date of birth, driver's license, anything like that. They already have it. Okay, so just a clue that something's going on. Delete it, give them a call just to make sure. This is an action that needs to become a part of your daily cybersecurity practice. Make it a habit so that you can thwart off phishers without thinking about it. Part 3, take action. So this is the participation part. Again, I'm not going to see these. This is only for your benefit. You'll find this action commitment on the back page of your reference card. It's in section D on the left-hand side. This, again, this is for you. I'm not going to see it. This is just a way to get you to move further along in your solutions and your cybersecurity for your own benefit. So I would really encourage you to put a deadline. Again, getting these things in place before the holiday season really ramps up is very helpful too, because you're going to get bombarded with emails. A few will be legit and some will be certainly a problem. So do think about those and commit to it. The other thing I'd encourage you to do is back on the first page of your reference guide, you will see some additional actions you can take, additional things you can do. And if you notice the time associated with them, they're really quick items. Highly recommend that you go through all those that are pertain to you, and that you knock out as many as you can. With that, I'm going to go back to the first page. Any questions that I can help with? Anything else on your mind that maybe we mentioned that we could talk about together? Or I'll certainly read your questions and then share them with everybody if you have any. Okay. Well, I hope you found this helpful. It's probably a little scary, but I want you to be just a little anxious, not scared. Anxious in the sense that you're going to take action on these things to protect yourself and to make sure that you don't become a victim of one of these attacks. And certainly, we've given you a lot of good tools and guidelines to actually make that happen. So with that, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. I hope you found this helpful. We really enjoy doing these webinars and everything we can to again educate our clients and protect our clients. So thank you for your business, and thank you for participating. Have a great day.